Hello good citizens, Ryan, mild-mannered chef here, and today we're making Ale-8-One spare ribs. So it's super early in the morning, which is the best time to start a barbecue project. I'm going to trim up some spare ribs, season them simply with salt, pepper, garlic, get some nice smoke on them. When we go to wrap them, I'm going to put a little fat in the wrap, I'm going to put some sweetener in there, and then I'm also going to spike it with a local soda called Ale-8-One. It's got a ginger citrusy kick to it that I think is going to play super well with our barbecue ribs. So this is a full pork spare rib. It's going to have some trimming done to it. The first thing that I like to do, take this piece of skirt meat off. It's something that'll probably just overcook on the smoker. It also can create some kind of funky pockets of seasoning if you leave it on there. It's good meat. I wouldn't throw it away. You can either grind it into sausage, or I'm actually just going to throw it on the smoker and it'll be a little pit snack. But you want to go over the ribs for anything loose, and will just burn up on the smoker. I have to come in little chang bone here, and I'm going to follow it sort of the traditional spare rib cut. Now if you wanted St. Louis cut, you'd come in kind of where this longest bone is and trim a whole lot more of that, but this is all tasty meat. Let's keep it in there. Take a quick peek on this side. There's a lot more trimming that I would do, if this was a competition, but it's just backyard cooking. Now, this membrane here, you can crisp it up and it can be edible, but I prefer to pull it off and get a little more seasoning on the meat. Start scraping on the bone. Grab you a paper towel. Once you get a nice little tag here, and if you're lucky, which today we are not, it'll come off in one piece. I'm going to start the seasoning process, and from here on out I need one clean hand and I need one hand that's going to touch the raw pork. So the way I like to do it is to put a glove on the hand that's going to touch the pork, and that's a good reminder for me to keep my other hand clean. This is a bourbon cayenne hot sauce. This isn't adding a whole lot of flavor, but it's going to add a little bit of moisture to the surface that'll help the seasoning stick to it. And then we'll go in with a good flaky kosher salt, black pepper, and then, because I like it, granulated garlic to it. Now these are typically called rubs, but you're not actually rubbing. You see I'm just kind of pressing in, and since we have that hot sauce on there, that'll help hold it. And you can see when I flip it, seasoning's not coming off. Make sure we get the edges seasoned. I'm just going to let that sit while I fire up the smoker. So I've got a pellet smoker here. I'm going to set it to 250 degrees and take 10-15 minutes for it to heat up. 2 hours in, check the color on these. Good. Those snacks. Give them another hour or so. So we got a good color here. That's really what I'm cooking to right now. The crust is setting up really nice. You can see the bark doesn't come off when I scrape at it. So I think we are about ready to wrap this. I've got a double layer of aluminum foil below. What I'm going to do is add some butter, hot sauce that we use for the binder. Remember I said it didn't add a whole lot of flavor as a binder, but it will add some good flavor to the wrap. Ooh, the rest of that bottle. Some honey down. Barbecue, I think of smoky, I think of spicy, I think of sweet. Flip these over so that the meat side is touching all of that goodness. Start wrapping this up. You want to wrap this tight as you can. If you're too loose, then it'll just steam all the bark off. Now I left this side open where I can get to it. We go ahead and add a little bit of our Ale-8. And we're going to put this back on the smoker. It's still sitting at 250. I think that's probably a good spot for it to ride. We'll let it go for another hour and a half or two. Good color. Pit snack. Willow. What? You want a pit snack? Pit snack. Alright. See how we're doing. Well, we got a couple of shiners here, but definitely tender. Ooh, yeah. This is that standard barbecue sauce, but I'm going to go ahead and spike it with Ale-8 also. And I've warmed this sauce up. My Ale-8 is also at room temperature, which makes it not super great for drinking, but it'll be great for this. Alright, so what I want to do now, I'm just going to make like a boat with the foil, and this will go right back on the smoker as is. Let that sauce really tack up, get kind of nice and sticky, just for 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so. Now these have tacked up, and I let them rest for a little bit too. If you slice any kind of meat when it's too hot, it'll just fall apart anyway. Ooh. Super tender. Seasoning's right on. The sauce is a really good blend of spicy and sweet. You get kind of notes of that ginger and citrus from the Ale-8. It's delicious. Time well spent. Well, good citizens, thank you so much for tuning in today. If you liked the video, hit like and subscribe. It really does help us. Feel free to leave a comment if there's anything that you'd like to see me cook. This is Ryan, mild-mannered chef, reminding you, not all heroes wear capes, some wear aprons.